So just everyone come to a seated position this morning. Just want to make sure you can see me. Sometimes I have to fiddle with the camera to get it right. Okay. And just begin to sit comfortably. Find any comfortable position for yourselves, okay? Any comfortable seated position. And just create some length through the seat bones all the way up the spine. So you want to be tall, but then just notice what's going on with the shoulders. So perhaps if they're creeping up a bit, relax them down as well. And then when you're ready, just settling in, finding that comfy space. And you could be sat on a cushion here. And if any of you need to go get a blanket or anything to cover yourselves up with, and then just come back and join in, that's fine. Other than that, we'll start by closing the eyes. Oh, actually, sorry, before we do that, just taking you into a mudra. So this one is called Varam Mudra, and it's particularly for going with the flow and bringing the water element in. So today, that's what I'm going to do. It's talking about the flow of water, bringing the elements in with the water, and using that as a symbol for the situation we're in at the moment. So trying to help us to navigate our way through these very bizarre, surreal times that we're in at the moment. This mudra, you bring the little finger and the thumbs together on each hand, and then just let the other three fingers extend, and then just relax those back on. Okay. And then closing the eyes, beginning to just breathe in and think about how the water flows in your body, in your veins. How everything begins to move through you. So how does your body work? The lymphatic system flows. So there's all sorts of systems in your body where there's movement all the time. And so just allowing for that initial awareness about your own body. And just beginning to let your shoulders relax, but still keeping length in your spine. Think about how fluid water is, how it moves, how it can sometimes be soft, how it can sometimes be powerful, very sort of forceful, depending on the force behind it, the movement, maybe the moon, the gravity, things like that, all that movements of the tide, how the water comes in and out, how it pulls you in and out, how you feel that movement. And we're going to sort of use that today as a bit of a symbol for how we cope with things. So I'm talking about navigating our way through stuff, not being stuck, resisting against it, because that's where we're going to cause ourselves more suffering. So all aiming to go with the flow. And still keep continuing, finding a natural rhythm with your breath now. So I want you to just keep the eyes closed. Notice the breath flowing through the body as well. So the breath flows just like the water flows. Feel the breath coming in and out through the chest. And feeling the chest rising and falling. And breathing into the belly even deeper. And feel that lift and fall. And working with the flow today, we're also going to bring in the second chakra, Svadhisthana chakra. So some work with our hips today. As hips is where we store emotion. And in yin yoga, we work a lot with the hips as well, because we want the water the fluid to flow through the connective tissue to release things that are stuck. And so we'll be working with that second chakra today. We want to be able to find our way through the obstacles in life and become accepting of the things that we can't control. And sometimes the same with our our jaw gets tense, our hips can get tense, and that's where we can get energy stuck. So I want to sort of look at opening that up today, releasing any stuck energy to help us move through these times. And this mudra that we're holding at the moment increases that water element in our body, so it helps to rehydrate the tissues at a cellular level. It can help with cramps and constipation, anything sort of stuck in that area. And just taking a few more breaths here. Begin to feel yourself centered. And draw that next breath in from the crown of the head down in towards the earth. And just feel yourself stable, strong foundation here. And whenever you're ready, just beginning to open the eyes with a soft focus. And checking in with the mind, checking in with the body. How are we feeling now? Lovely. And when you're ready, we're just going to come into a pranayama, Nadi Sadhana, which is a beautiful one for balance in both sides of the body. Again, helping to remove any of that stuckness, anything there. And we're working on bringing the opposite energies together to come up in towards our Sushumna Nadi. So 3 main nadis, 3 main energy channels, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna, and bringing up that balance up that spinal column so that we can learn to find this more peaceful state of mind. And so with this breathing, this pranayama exercise, I think all of you have probably done this before. Your left hand just comes into a chi mudra. So just the thumb and the index finger together, and the other fingers just relaxed away, extended away. Your right hand is going to be the one doing all the work. So we're going to bring the thumb to rest at the right nostril. The first 2 fingers can come up onto the eyebrow center. And then the ring finger is going to be the finger that is closing off and opening of the left nostril. So we start off by taking the thumb to the right nostril, and we're going to breathe in through the left. And then closing off that left nostril, we'll breathe out through the right side. So just releasing the thumb out through the right side. And with your inhale, you're breathing in through the right side. And closing off the right nostril, release the left, breathe out through the left. And in through the left. Closing off the left, we'll breathe out through the right. And in through the right. Close off, release left, breathe out through the left. And in through the left. And close off and continue in this way. We'll do another 5 rounds of breath. Closing off, breathing out through the left. And in. And just continuing with the next 4 rounds. And when you finish, just bring your hands to the lap because each one of you may be at a slightly different pace of breath. Lovely. Okay. So just checking back in again, how you're feeling. And let's just take a little bit of movement through the neck. Begin to just drop the chin to chest. Let the shoulders melt away. And then take a little roll across to the right shoulder. And back across to the left. Just notice how your neck feels today, how you slept. Whether you're holding much tension at the moment, and that's quite natural that you would be. The way things are is all very new, all very different for us. So just keep going from side to side for a couple more rounds. Then we're going to take it into a full circle of the neck, but without taking the head far back. So next time you come across to your right shoulder, begin to just lift the head up, come across the top and back down to the other side. And then going the other way, coming across to the left shoulder, across the top and back to center. And just doing this 2 more times on each side. Again, not taking the head far back, not hurting the neck in any way. And when you've finished, just bringing your head all the way back to center and bringing that head back in line with the spine. Just so let's have a little roll through the shoulders and roll the other way. Okay. So just checking that you're all feeling well today, and any issues or anything, please let me know, any recent injuries, because obviously I haven't seen you all in a little while. And also just making sure you haven't got any hazards around your mat at all. And having a glass of water there or something, a bottle of water if you need to have a drink anytime. And remember, anything feels a bit much, please just have a rest when you need to, okay? Or give something a miss. As I'm not there to, I'll be able to keep an eye on you in the camera, but it's not the same as when I would adjust you normally and things, okay? Right, lovely. So we're going to bring the hands to the knees now and start to get a bit warmer. So let's begin to circle through in a Sufi grind, coming forward, around to the side, drawing the belly and the pelvic floor in as you go round the back there in that circle, and just continuing to circle in one direction. And maybe do this about another 6 times around. Just see, checking in with the body. How does it feel to move in a nice fluid way? And hopefully we'll get you a bit warmer soon. This one will help to mobilize your spine, open your hips a little. It's gently warming up. And you can really add Once you feel a bit warmer, add those shoulders in, come a bit deeper if you want to. So we just do one more circle in this direction, and then we'll change and go the other way. Back the other way now. Anybody had a big breakfast, or you've all kept it light at the moment? I hope. Doing this, your tummies might not appreciate it if you had a big breakfast. That's my tummy rumbling. I haven't had breakfast yet. And let's just do 2 more this way before you start getting dizzy. And then come back to center, bring the spine gently back upright, stack it, send the shoulders back and down. Well done. Just release those legs for a moment, give them a little shake out. Then we're going to come back in with the legs crossed again, but this time maybe taking the legs the other way. So if you had your legs crossed one particular way, perhaps change direction now. And then we're going to bring the one leg over the top. Okay. I'm using my right leg. If you're using your left, that's fine. And that leg's going to come over the top. Now this can be quite tight. If you need to sit on a blanket or block here, anything you've got you can use. This is Gomukhasana legs. Also, the other option is to send your bottom leg out in front of you instead. So you've got a slightly gentler version there, a little bit less tight in the hips for you. So find the version that works for you. We're aiming to sort of stack those knees if we can. Again, put whatever support you need underneath you. And then taking a little twist. So we're going to twist in the direction of that top knee for you, okay? So take a little twist here. And then coming back to center. We're going to take this into a side stretch as well. We're still going the same side as that knee. I'm hoping there's not too much smoke. I've got an incense stick going, but it's a bit smoky, so I'm going to put it out because I don't want all you seeing is smoke. Okay, lovely. So we're going to take this into a side stretch now. So inhaling in, we're reaching across towards that top leg. We're going beyond that top leg with your top arm. So reaching across the body. So you've got a bit of twist going on with the legs. So the hips are getting a workout here. You're opening up into the side body, into all the muscles in the ribs, your obliques there as well. Seem to be losing my voice today. And exhale, bring that arm gently down. Okay, so while we're still in this position, before we swap legs, we're just going to do a little bit of stretching through the arms as well. So lifting up one arm, probably the opposite arm to the top leg, and bringing the hand underneath the tricep there and just giving that a little push back, a little stretch. And see how the shoulder feels there. And holding that for another breath or two. Lengthen up through the spine again. Wonderful, doing well, guys. Doing well. And release that arm. We're going to bring it across the body and hug it up and in. So dropping that top shoulder, but drawing it across the body there. And then we're going to release that arm. Bring the arm all the way up to the ceiling and bend it back again like you did just now. And you can stay by pressing the hand underneath that muscle, or have a little go of sweeping the other arm around and reaching. And it doesn't matter if the fingers don't reach. Mine definitely don't on this side. You can, if you want to, use a belt or a sweater or anything you've got to hand, if you want to put that between the two hands to fill that space. And then you can always walk the hands up towards each other or meet in the middle somewhere. If they do, they may not at this early stage of the morning. And just holding there, wherever you are, for just 2 more breaths. And lovely, releasing those arms. Just have a little roll through the shoulders. And we'll take the legs the other way now. So swapping legs over. Again, you can have the bottom leg extended if that's more comfortable for you. And once you've got the legs swapped around and you're sitting up nice and tall again, we'll take that twist towards the side of the top leg. And take a little look over your shoulder. And just stay there for a couple more breaths in the twist, giving the spine a little rotation. Well done. And then gently coming back to center. Okay, so other arm this time is going to reach up towards the ceiling and bend at the elbow. And we'll just press gently up behind the tricep there. Just waking the shoulder joint up. If you want to give it a little bit of movement, if that feels nice, you can add that in. You can bring the arm forward and backward a little bit more. Well done. And then release that arm and gently bring it across the body on your inhale. Hug that arm in towards your chest, dropping that shoulder. One more breath there. And then we'll take the arm back up again. So bring it back in line with the shoulder, extend it up towards the ceiling, bend it. And again, if you want to, you can stay with holding that arm or reaching it around and just seeing. And it just goes to show sometimes how much stiffer we are in the mornings, because I usually find this easier to do the later the day goes on. Like so this morning, I can just reach my fingers here, but only just. Whereas normally on this side, I can do a bit more. So just an interesting observation of how much tighter the body is in the morning before we get moving. And the fact that we live in a cooler climate as well, the body doesn't warm up as quickly. And exhaling, we'll slowly release and we'll roll through those shoulders. Well done. So while we're still in this position with the legs, just going to walk the hands forward. So begin to pull up in the Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. And again, we can switch the Uddiyana on a little bit here. The Uddiyana Bandha, your abdominal muscles can pull up and in, as if they're trying to be sucked up under the ribs a little. And as you exhale, trying to come over a little bit with a straighter back, first of all, as you walk those hands forward. And then once you get as far as your hands can go, your tummy is hugged in, you're going to relax the shoulders, relax the head, the chin, the jaw, the face. Just let everything soften there. The only thing you would probably feel is working really hard is the hips and maybe the shoulders a little. So just try to soften in the shoulders and just try to relax into the pelvis, relax into the root, the earth, the mat here. Could be quite an intense stretch for you in the hips. And let's slowly walk back. So I want to just do that one on the other leg as well so that we're balanced. So just swapping the legs back over to take that forward fold. And then when you're ready, we start to lengthen with that drawing in of the two bandhas as we walk forward and exhaling over those legs. And just noticing the difference here of whether that one is more comfortable or more uncomfortable. For me, that is more uncomfortable on this side. That's going to be different for each of you. It depends on what's going on in your own hips as well, whether you have any issues in the hips or any tightness. And also if you have any issues in your low back, just be careful with this one as well. So don't take this one too far if your back's a bit sore today. So last breath there. I'm going to unfurl those legs, give them a little shake out, go, oh, thank goodness for that. And then just making your way to hands and knees. Just come to hands and knees, and we'll take those knees wide. And we're not going to do full frog here where the feet turn out, but just keeping the toes turned in towards the center a little bit. We'll do a variation of frog. So come down onto the forearms, toes and knees are wide, and just sit back towards those hips. So just beginning to do a variation of frog that isn't quite as intense as the one we do with the feet out, but just to wake those hips up a little bit here. Well done. And just beginning to come forward one more time onto those forearms, and then we're going to sit back again as you exhale. So sit back into the frog again. So just gently, gentle variation today to start with. If you want to add the more extreme version in, make sure your knees are cushioned well. Begin to line your feet up more with your shins so the toes come from the middle and back out in line with the knees. And if you want to, you can turn the toes out for this last one. If you get any pressure issues in your knees, I would keep the toes in line with the feet, in line with the ankles and the legs. Don't turn them out. And then just again, pushing back for this last time. And see how that feels in the hips. If you turn the feet out, it's going to be more pressure on the knees. You might need to cushion those knees with your mat or blanket. Well done. Just last 2 breaths there. Just waking up. So this is going to allow that connective tissue to begin to open up a little more, stretch a little more, get the fluid moving through it. And when you do a yin practice, where we hold the poses for a lot longer than this, that really gets deeply into the fascia, that connective tissue that links everything, supports all the joints, the muscles. And we're going to come back to center now. Bring the hands in line with the shoulders and the knees in line with the hips. Well done. And let's just take ourselves into a few cat-cows here. So begin to round up through the spine and inhale as you come forward with the head, the chest between the arms. And just doing this a few more times, mobilizing your spine. Well done. Lovely. Couple more. And then coming back into child's pose and extending those arms in front of you. So just relax here for 3 breaths, coming into the sides of the body and in round the back, the thoracic spine. Breathe into the lungs, feel the back of the body expanding there, around the back of the ribs. And think about the journey that this breath takes, the flow, the movement. So we might think that we're still at the moment because we're stuck in this situation, but the body is still functioning, the body is still doing all the things that it normally does. And we just don't even realize that half the time. We take it for granted. So just using this chance of breath as a little bit of appreciation time for your body. And now coming up on your next inhale, gonna just sweep all the way through. So coming into a cobra, but without going through the whole nose, chin, chest situation of Ashtanga. So literally coming up from the knees, from the seat bones, you're bringing your body through between your arms, and then just sending the chest forward, hugging the belly in. And we're going to do that several times. So just beginning to get a little bit of movement going. Now you can go a bit faster with this if you want to as well, so you can really get some movement going into it, build up a little bit more heat, and maybe do this about another 4 times. Well done. Just be mindful if your wrists are a bit delicate, then you can stop when you need to. Lovely. Just make the next one your last one. And then we'll come all the way to down dog. So begin to tuck the toes as you come up towards that flat back position and start to lift the knees. Take your gaze between your ankles, your shins. Turn the biceps slowly outwards to the sides. Just imagine you're twisting them outwards to broaden the shoulders. Press away from the thumbs, the index fingers. Take a big breath here, lengthen through the spine, and of course bending the knees as much as you want to as well here. That might be really nice to bend the knees deeply. Just staying here for 4 more breaths, maybe beginning to pedal feet if that feels nice as well. And just making any movements. If you feel you'd like to bend the knees and twist the feet from side to side, you can add that in. It's whatever your body needs. And that little bending of the knees one by one as you pedal. Okay, well done. Last breath there. Take a nice big stretch in your mountain pose. And then option to walk or to take a little hop. If you're feeling awake enough, you can have a little hop up to the front or just walk up to the front, whichever feels best for you. And then inhale, we'll slowly rise all the way up to the top. When you get to the top, big breath in, hands in prayer, and exhale as you bring them to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Well done, lovely. So we're at the fronts of our mats now, and releasing the hands here, and just really feeling energy in your hands. So just really spread the palms, the fingers, drop the shoulders, lengthen up. Visualize the energy flowing, so coming up from the root all the way through your body and out the crown of your head. Just see if you can notice any tingling sensation in your hands, and also balancing your weight evenly through all 4 corners of your feet. So one more breath, becoming that solid mounting again. Stable, strong. And inhale, we're going to come into some Surya Namaskar, so some sun salutations here. Get us warmed up a bit more. So inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, take a swan dive all the way over. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, fold all the way over. Begin to bend the knees, plant the palms, send your right leg back, followed by your left, coming into a plank pose. And we're pressing away from the floor with our hands. And we're going to stay here just for a few breaths, or maybe for a count of 5. And really tuck in that tailbone under, almost lifting the kidneys a little here to get that nice long straight spine. And 2, and 1, and making your way down. So if we all maybe start the first one with our knees, and then the second one we can go from a full plank if we wish. So bring knees down for Ashtanga Namaskar. Shoulders are just gently coming in front of the wrist. Elbows and inner arms are tucking in there towards our side. Seat bones rise. Nose comes down. chest comes to the floor. We slide the body through, and you're coming into either Sphinx pose on your arms or baby cobra in this version. And just taking a gaze to your third eye, drawing that belly button in, fronts of the feet are flat on the mat. Just one more breath here. Exhale, gently lower the body down to the floor. Bring the elbows in close to the sides, the hands by the side of the ribs. Belly in, let's power back up to downward facing dog. And just take a little pedal there. Lift your right leg behind you. So big stretch behind you with the right leg. And scoot that knee in towards your nose. Hug your belly in. Take a little gaze at your hands and step that foot through between your hands. And just help it if it doesn't come there naturally all the way. And then once you've got that foot at the front, you're going to bring the back foot in to join it and come into your forward fold again. And just take a moment to have a little sway here if you need it. And inhale, we'll do a little halfway up again. So fingertips to the floor or shins, hugging the belly in, and just got that lovely long line of your spine here. So just taking a breath in and feel the energy coming down from the crown through to the root of your tailbone, your pelvis there. Exhale, fold all the way over. And inhale, we're going to start to come up by pulling up that Mula Bandha. We're slowly coming up through the spine. Nice and gentle on this first one. Inhale, reach all the way up to the top with your arms. Hands coming prayer at the top. Hasta Uttanasana. Exhale, we bring in hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Well done. Inhale, we're going to come back again, do the same thing again. So inhale, come back to mountain. When you're ready, reaching the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, taking that lovely dive over into Uttanasana. Well done. Inhale. Did we lose you, Judith, for a minute there? Lovely. And exhale, halfway up. And inhale, fold. I'm going to step back with the left leg this time, followed by the right, coming back into plank pose. Hold in there if you can. And if there's too much for wrists, you can come down onto forearms at any time. And from this option, we come to one more breath here in our plank pose to find that nice strong position. Press back through the heels so you're nice and long in the body. You're pushing away from the hands. We're then going to begin to draw those elbows in close to our body, hinge them back, press through those hands. We come maybe halfway or all the way down to the floor, or halfway and come into the up dog version with the toes on the mat. But if that's too much, you come down the same way we did before, knees, chest, and into Sphinx or baby cobra. So whatever version you're in, taking one big breath in here, exhaling, lowering forehead back to mat, and inhaling, coming back into downward facing dog. So just beginning to bring your way back. If you're in up dog, you can go straight back to down dog. Lovely. So we'll all meet back in down dog. Left leg's going to lift. Knees coming in towards the nose, and then you're looking at your hands as the foot steps through, and then the other foot's going to follow. You're coming into that forward fold. And inhale, begin to rise up through the spine. You okay, Judith? Lovely. Hands raised in prayer. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Lovely. Okay. Beautiful. Let's just do that one more time a bit quicker. So inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale to fold all the way over. Inhale to come halfway. Exhale to fold. Right leg steps back, followed by left, coming into plank. shoulders nicely pushed away from the floor, and making your way down. So either knees, nose, chin, chest, or fully down from a plank. And back up into downward facing dog again. Well done, making your way back up. The right leg lifts. The knee comes towards the nose. You take a gaze at your hands, you step the foot through and help it there. And you come into the back foot joining, back into a forward fold. Inhale, slowly rising up all the way. Well done. All the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Lovely. Come back to mountain. Last time on this side. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, take that swan dive over. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Bend in your knees. Take the left leg back, followed by the right. Last plank. Make your way down. Finding your version. Inhale. Going into baby cobra, sphinx, or up dog. Exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. And left leg lifts behind you, big reach, lengthen, lengthen. Knee towards the nose, hug that belly in. Step that foot through between the hands and follow it with the other foot, the right foot. Come into your forward fold here. And inhale, slowly rising all the way back up. Exhale, hands coming to heart center here. And I want to just take you into one more half salutation so that we can have a nice little stretch at the spine at the bottom. So beginning to reach all the way up on an inhale again. Exhale, we come all the way over. So we're coming into a half salutation this time. Just check here. So stay here in your forward fold now. Just check nice and even balance through the feet. Let the head, the neck and the shoulders relax. Maybe you hold the elbows or maybe you'd have the arms hanging freely here. And just staying here, have a good stretch through the spine. Let the gravity help you out here. And just enjoy your breathing here. And lovely, inhale. Come halfway, just take a nice breath there. And exhale, fold back over. So we're going to step back to down dog. Back into your down dog. Lifting your right leg. Bend your knee. If it's comfortable to stack the hip, you can do by flexing the foot and opening the knee up so that you get that the hips almost stacking one on top of each other. And you might even be able to sort of look underneath your right underarm. And then from this position, I want you to just start to circle the knee and the hip. So just the knee, the hip, the glute moving here. And just circling that knee in a big circle or a circle that suits your hip range. Just for 3 more. And then we're going to take it the other way. So once you finish your third one, go back and do 5 circles the other way. And when you've finished your 5th circle, we're going to step that foot through. So the knees coming towards the nose, the foot's coming through between your hands. We're keeping the back heel lifted and we're coming into a high lunge. The arms are rising up. The inner thighs are going to pull towards each other so that you get a bit more stability here. And you're rising up through the chest there. And then maybe you might even find you can stretch that back leg a little straighter. Well done. Okay. So from your high lunge here, we're going to sweep the arms back. And as we lift the arms up again, just straightening the front leg, if that's suitable. If not, keep it bent. And then sweeping back over again. So you're drawing the belly in as you hinge over those legs. And rising up. And back over. And you really straighten through that back leg. And last one. And this time, when we reach forward again, we're going to try and take a warrior three. So begin to lift, into warrior three, and maybe wobble, back toe down, try to keep the hips level if you can. You can always hold a chair or the wall as well. Just make sure that it's safe behind you to lift your legs. And just maybe using, you're right there, Moira, maybe just using a wall or something for a bit of support here. And if you don't want to take the back leg up, it doesn't matter. You could just reach forward with the toe down. Okay. So, and then from your warrior three, we're just going to drop that back leg back down again. And we're going to try warrior three more times, but we're not going to hold them. So it's going to be into warrior three, back down. So it's just between a breath cycle. So we're rising into warrior three, we're touching back down, into warrior three, touching back down. Just doing that 3 times. Well done. When you finish your last warrior three, just bring in the leg back to join the other foot at the front, and the arms coming back in line, and you're back in mountain pose. All okay? Well done, well done. And we've got Judith back now as well. I think we lost Judith for a while there. Okay, so from mountain, we're going to rise all the way back up, half salutation again. Exhale as we fold all the way over. And inhale as we come halfway up. And exhale to fold back over into Uttanasana. Okay, we're going to take a step back into down dog again. And we're lifting the left leg this time. And again, option to bend knee. Well, actually, everybody needs to bend their knee, to be honest, but option to stack. You don't have to stack the hip if you don't want to. And then we're going to circle 3 times in one direction. And then change it. Actually, make it 5 because we did 5 on the other side. So make it 5 circles one way. And then once you've done those 5 the other way. So we're just really warming up in the hip joint there. Loosening it all up so we can get that fluid flowing through. And then when you finish that last circle, we're going to sweep. Bring that leg back in line with the hip and then sweep that knee to nose and step that foot through. Your back foot, your right foot is now lifted off the floor, the heel is, and we're lined up with the feet. Fingers are going one way. Sorry, feet are all pointing the same direction. And the arms rise up and we're coming into high lunge. Again, just to initiate the muscles in the legs, recruit those inner thighs. And we're going to stay here for 2 breaths, just in our high lunge before we start moving through it again. Doing well, doing well. Okay. And then from there, beginning to sweep the arms as we hinge over, sweep the arms behind us. Inhale, reach them all the way up to the top. Exhale behind. Inhale to rise. Exhale behind. And as we rise on this next one with the arms coming forward, we're coming into warrior 3 here. So finding our warrior 3. It's quite handy here. I've got a very small room, so I can touch the wall. When I come into this one, I can cheat. I can pretend I'm doing it because you can't see, but I can touch the wall. Okay. And then let's drop that foot back down for warrior three, a very wobbly warrior three this morning, mine. I'm going to take 3 more quicker ones with the inhale and exhale. So just reaching forward and exhale, tapping down, and 2 more, reaching forward, tapping down. Last one, reach forward and tap back down. Well done. So we're going to bring the hands all the way over to the floor. On your exhale, hug your belly in, back to down dog. Have a little pedal there. And one more for the hips. So we're going to lift that right leg up, bend that knee, bring it towards the nose, hug the belly in, and then drop the knee gently down behind the right wrist. And then turn the inner part of the leg, the lower part, across the mat. So if you're trying to reach the left side of the mat, flex the foot and then slide the left leg back along the mat. So coming into our Rajatpatasana, our pigeon pose. Option to stay up on the hands here, or to come onto the forearms, or to come fully over. And what you want to do, because I can't come and adjust you, is make sure you're not rolling into the side of the knee, the bent knee leg. Okay, so you want to try and keep the hips nice and level. So maybe your left hip is coming towards that heel of that right foot. And you start to walk all the way over, if that's comfortable, or any of the versions with the arms, and send the top of the foot to the mat on the left foot, and you're lengthening through that left leg. And just really stay here for 5 breaths. Nice big deep breaths into just a big stretch into the hips. Anybody got any hip issues with this can come onto their back instead. So if this is really uncomfortable, come onto your back, bring your right foot, your right ankle to rest on your left leg instead, and then bring those hands underneath the left thigh and lift the left thigh. So that's your supine version of the pigeon pose. Well done. And maybe coming up to our last breath there, start to walk yourself back up. So from this position, now we'll just do, we'll just roll onto that right hip now and just bring that left foot, that left leg forward, so that you come into a Janisasana, so that that foot now, right foot is resting on the inside of the left leg. And we'll go back up in a minute to do the other side in pigeon. So just want to take a big breath in here to reach all the way up, and exhale as we hinge over that leg. So you might reach your shin, your thigh floor, or your foot. So just find the one that works for you. And just take 3 good breaths here. So Judith, it's this one. With the knee out to the side and the leg extended. So right knee out to the side, left leg extended. And then inhaling in, gently bring that right leg back into center and walk the spine back up. Then crossing the legs We're going to come all the way over back onto our hands, separate those legs, those feet, come back into your downward facing dog and have a little pedal through there. And then we'll begin to lift the left leg up now. Big, big stretch. Hug that knee in towards your nose. Hold it there for a few seconds. Press away from those hands. Broaden those shoulders, really working that tummy. And then exhale, bring that left knee behind the left wrist and start to slide the right hip back. Draw your left foot across the mat. Maybe we aim to try and get the shin parallel to the mat, but so many of us don't have hips that are flexible enough to do that. So you're aiming to just sit where you can with this within your hip range. And you're either high up here with the chest open, or you begin to come to the forearms, semi-active or more passive by bringing the head all the way to the floor, a block or a blanket. And just settle in here for 5 breaths. And I want you to just notice any difference that you have in your hips here from one side to the other. Looking good from where I can see. Can't see all of you in this position, but good. And again, another couple of breaths here. And you might be particularly noticing where you're feeling a bit tighter. And beginning to take that last breath in here. We'll slowly lift the chest, walk the hands back up and roll onto your left hip. Reach behind to the right leg. Bend the knee on the right leg. Sweep that leg around to the front and bring your left foot from underneath to rest against the side of that thigh. And inhale, reach all the way up. Lengthen the spine, exhale, take that fold all the way over. And relax the shoulders. There's a tendency for us to, I just had to remind myself as well that I was holding tension there. So relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Just find length in the back of the spine and the leg, and also breath, real beautiful breath there. Just tuning back into that flow of your breath. And we've done quite a few movements where we've sort of flowed in and out. Some we've held, but some we've flowed in and out with today to build a little heat, but to really focus more on flowing through life and the obstacles that are coming our way. And especially when we're dealing with something that we aren't used to at all. This is a new situation for us all to navigate through. And slowly walking up on your inhale here, we're going to bring the left thigh in to the center, extend those legs away, and we'll take ourselves into a boat pose just for a last little bit of core work, a little bit of heat, and then we'll roll down and come into bridge. So begin to take an option of holding onto the legs with a nice straight back to start with, collarbone open, or hands can go behind. Again, sending the elbows, the shoulders towards each other so you're open through the chest. And beginning to lift one foot then the other. Again, option to hold the legs or to release the legs, whichever works for you. And just holding here for 4 more breaths. Shins roughly parallel to the ceiling. Spine's going to be about a 45-degree angle now as you balance here on the pelvis, pulling up that Mula Bandha and drawing in Uddiyana here as well. And last breath, we begin to drop one foot down, followed by the other, and slowly roll all the way down on your mat. And extend your arms and legs. Have a big stretch here. Take a big breath in. Lovely. And exhale, bring the arms gently down by your side. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. Decide how far you want the feet. We're going to go up into a bridge pose, shoulder bridge. So they could be a little bit further away from you. They could be quite close to your bottom in order for you to reach your heels if you wish to. And we're going to start to lift up through that pelvis, peeling up through the spine. Your hands can be down by your side or they could interlace underneath you, and you can walk those shoulders and elbows a little bit more in towards each other underneath. So that's another variation. Option to lift one leg and then alternate it, or to have your hands behind your head. So any variation you want to do here for 4 breaths. And begin to peel all the way down through the spine until each vertebrae touches the mat again. And then draw those knees in towards your chest. Give them a little hug, a little rock if you need to side, or a circle. If you're circling, change directions. And then gently bringing the feet back to the floor one by one. We'll take a supine belly twist, so just arms out to side and just allowing the knees to come together and to roll over to one side and letting your head gently fall in the opposite direction. One more breath there. And then come back to center and gently take the knees to the other side. And you can have your feet away from the floor if that suits you better, or you can have them on the floor, whatever feels nicest for your spine, and stay there for a few breaths. And then lovely, gently bring the knees back to center. If you want to roll to one side to reach your sweaters or blankets, please do that now. And then make your way into a comfortable position, ready for your relaxation. And if you've got any aromatherapy oil on there with you, you could use that. If you've got any little bit of music you want quietly on in the background, you can use that as well. Just eye pillows, anything that you want to use for relaxing. And then just finding that comfortable position for yourself. So it could be in your corpse pose, Shavasana, flat on your back. By all means, put a candle on if you want to as well. And you can have knees bent or legs up the wall, any position you prefer to be in. And then just find that comfortable position. Make sure you feel warm enough. And then begin to Just feel your body touching the mat. Just making contact, and then beginning to notice your breath again. So breathing in with that lovely flow. If you feel the need for a couple of big deep breaths with a big sigh first before you get into gentle breath, then you could take the opportunity to do that as well. And then just beginning to come into a natural rhythm. Now I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey, invite you on a guided meditation with me, and if you prefer to just zone out and listen to your breath, then you can just take that option as well. So beginning to imagine as you breathe in, you're breathing in a very fine white mist, soft, gentle and pure. And you're breathing that mist in. And you feel it flowing down within the body, filling the spaces in the back of your mouth, your nose, your throat. And traveling down, filling all the spaces in the lungs, the heart, around the heart. Further down, letting it flow into all the internal organs. And just feeling that this mist is uplifting and light for your body. And it's pushing out any remnants of dark spaces that you may be feeling, or any worry, any anxiety. Just accepting that they're there, not judging yourself for those feelings. That's absolutely natural. And just letting this light fill that void, fill that space with this beautiful light mist that's filling your body. And let that mist fill you completely inside. Every tiny little space it can find, supporting all the organs, the muscles, the ligaments, the joints. Beginning to help the body feel lighter, feeling this mist flowing through you as you breathe in and out. And let the body feel light and peaceful. And let the body, knowing you're still grounded through the back of your body on the mat, but just becoming aware of a lightness now, a softness, and allowing that to cocoon you, wrap around you, and lift you higher. And as you lift higher and higher, you're rising gently away from the earth, up into the sky, up into a beautiful blue sky. And this mist meets with other beautiful white mist up there, forming a soft white cloud of pure light and moisture. And allowing this cloud of light to just drift gently, blown along with the thermals of the wind. Just accepting, just flowing. Just flowing with the wind that's blowing it in whatever direction it gets pulled. Not resisting, just letting that cloud of moisture and light just float away without a care in the world. As it looks down, it passes over lands, fields, hills, roads, houses. Getting higher and higher, everything looks smaller and smaller from down below. And begins to drift over towards the top of a solid mountain. And as it rises above this mountain, the wind places it just above, and it stops there. And the moisture forms into droplets of rain. and the rain flows down over this mountain. And it begins to land on the top of the mountain and run all the way down, forming rivulets, streams, and rivers from this tiny drop of moisture and light, becoming one of the blessed bodies of water around the planet, merging and flowing together from a tiny drop to rivers and oceans, flowing and controlled by the tides and gravity, always moving, always changing, ever flowing. And you are this tiny drop in this big ocean of change. And you can choose whether you flow or resist, respond or stay stuck. And become part of this ever-flowing, ever-moving power. Having that power within you to navigate life's changes, to flow over obstacles or around them. Just accepting, and acceptance will help things become easier, less suffering for you. Just flow with ease, with everything that comes your way. And gently beginning to give thanks for the beautiful world, the planet, all the species, all the beings on it, to learn to treat everything with respect and love, the wonderful nature we have around us, the earth plane, the water, the sky, all the forces that make up our world. And gently beginning to find your way back from whatever body of water you became, whatever you became part of, wherever you went on this journey, beginning to find your way back to your breath again. That body filled with that beautiful light, that pure white mist. Finding your way back to your breath, beginning to breathe with a little more depth, reconnecting in with your physical body, the movements within your body, your breath, the sounds of your body. And noticing whatever came up behind your closed eyes with your inner vision. And start to become aware of being back in the room, beginning to feel more present back on your mat. Beginning to take movement in fingers and toes, ankles and feet, wrists and arms. And on your next big breath in, begin to extend those arms, give those fingers and toes a big wiggle. And to feel fully present with one big breath and a big stretch all the way from fingertips to toes. And when you're ready, exhaling, Bringing the arms down by your sides and rolling onto one side. Taking a moment to take a breath or two there. And then gently making your way back to a seated position on your mat. Just keep your eyes closed there for a moment. Just take a moment or two to breathe, reflect. Coming back, fully present, feeling seat bones back rooted through the earth. Feeling the hands back resting on your legs, spine long. And then begin to rub those hands together so you bring some heat into your hands. Feel that energy and that warmth building. And then place those hands softly over your face. And take a couple of beautiful breaths here. And when you're ready, gently beginning to bring the hands away from the face. And softening in the face, beginning to gently open the eyes. And just closing our practice today, if we can, with for the planet, that lovely sound, that sacred sound of the planet. So if we could just that together. I've unmuted you all now, so I can hear you all. And we'll bring the hands together in prayer. We take a big breath in and exhale with Om. Om. And all that could be left to say is thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you benefited from the practice. And Om Shanti to all of you. Namaste.